Here's a quick overview of how, as a student, if you've been set homework, how to submit it. Homework can actually be set in a couple of different places, in a course or just through a class. If homework is set for a class, it will appear in this homework panel up here, and I'll deal with courses in a couple of minutes. This will be probably the most common way you'll set homework to start with. So if you've got some homework that pops up on your dashboard, for example this homework example here, if you click on it, it will take you to the submission page. When your teacher sets the homework, they can put various resources for you to use, and obviously that can be as extensive as is necessary. And then you've got a couple of options for how you actually submit your homework. What the teacher will actually see within this homework folder, the teacher has a folder for each individual student. Obviously you only see your work, but the teacher can see your work and everyone else in the class. However, only you can see the work you submit, you and the teacher. So the submission options they're fairly straightforward. My computer, this means if you've got a file that you've produced externally that's on your computer, like a Word document or an Excel, you would click upload from my computer, and you quite simply would browse to a file, select it, and then upload. The second option, in fact both of these next two options, if the file you've created or your homework, if it already exists on the system, so say you've created a file on My Learning or you've already uploaded a file to My Learning, this is where you'd use one of these. So you'd go to, if it's in your My Files area, you just click there. So I was submitting this picture as my homework. I would just click on it and that has been submitted. Another way would be through My Clipboard. So for example, if you were in the My Files area, so if I just go to My Files here, and say you've done a homework, say this was your homework here, this picture, this little option would copy to your clipboard, and then, I think I might have just done that twice by mistake, but you go back to your homework, choose the option Import from My Clipboard, and I've got a couple of things on there, but just select and import. So that's another way of submitting your homework. So that can also be any sort of document that you've created, it doesn't have to be a picture. This last option here, this actually means that you are physically going to hand a piece of paper in to your teacher next time you see them. So this is just saying, yes, I've done my homework, but I'm going to give it to you personally the next lesson. Just to go over that in a teeny bit more detail, if you've got resources that you want to use and maybe develop, for example this document here, which happens to be on beatboxing, say you wanted to use it, comment on it, and then submit it as your homework, the way to do it would be copy to your clipboard, then go to your files area, and using the clipboard tab up here, if you then re-import it, where was it? Beatboxing. You can clear your clipboard, obviously. Now, once you've copied it into your own files area, you can see that if you hover over it, you now get the option to edit it, which you didn't have when it was in the homework. So, take the resource, copy it into your My Files area, and then you can go in, you can add, perhaps you've got your own beatbox which you're going to add to it, or just add a comment. There is a separate video on how to use the rich text editor. But then you might want to change the title and save. So what you've done, you've taken the resource and you've edited it, and now it's in your My Files area. So we can go back to your homework. Simplest way is probably home and then homework, and then you can submit it from, you could use the clipboard or My Files, but import from My Files, and this is the one that we actually edited. Okay, and you submitted that. So at the moment we've actually submitted 3 separate things. So that's how you submit homework within within a class. The other place homeworks do appear, and it's a very similar process, is within courses. Courses are a more they're a more detailed set of learning tools, basically, that can be more ordered and can go into a lot more detail. Your courses will be listed in this area down here. So as an example, if I go into this, current student is registered under the GCSE Music, and you can see the modules here. And if I click into the homework module, there's a homework set up called Performance Log, and from here it works in pretty much the same way. Within Performance Log, you can see there's the details of the task, and then quite simply we've got upload, submit your homework. And if you click there, it looks slightly different, but it's more or less the same thing. Give it a title. You can attach a file from your computer and upload it. That's if it's not on the system already. Or as well, you can type directly into this area. You can attach pictures, files, anything else that you want, and then you can submit your homework that way. And once again, you must put a title in. Your teacher can see it, you can see it, and the good thing about courses is your teacher can comment, and then you can react to the comment, maybe redo something, and carry on the task and improve on it. So those are the basic ways of submitting your homework if it's been set.